Hi there everyone, it's Misty here. Welcome to an update video. So, the last 4 days have been hell on earth. If you're not following me on social media, you may have missed it, but my incision split open. So if you're unfamiliar, I had a laminectomy on October 8th and everything was going fine. I had a little, not even a half an inch spot at the very top of my incision that hadn't completely healed over, but then it did. And then Sunday we washed it with the washcloth and Rob was really careful. But that night, I don't know what happened, but that night I was like, whoa, it hurt so bad. And it hadn't hurt like that since the day of my surgery. When I came out of anesthesia, what hurt me the most was the incision. And it bothered me probably the first full week. So Sunday night, it was really bothersome. Couldn't lay on my back. Monday, it just got completely worse. I mean, it was just so bad. I barely slept Monday night. Woke up Tuesday and it was bothering me. Took a shower and my physical therapist came to do physical therapy. And he's like, let's do your exercises. And most of them have to lie on my back. And I was like, I don't know how far we're going to get. I said, my incision has really been bothering me the last couple of days. And he's like, I wonder why. He's like, do you think it's the weather? And I said, I don't think it's the weather. I was like, it's because it's not like a dull aching pain. This is like a steal your breath kind of continual pain. So he's like, do you care if I look? And I had asked Rob, I was like, is it red? Does it look infected? He's like, no. So Damon looks, that's my physical therapist, and my incision had split open, like this much of my incision had split open. And I was like, holy shit. Holy shit. So I took a picture, or had him take a picture, and I sent it to my PA, and he's like, oh yeah, that's how it has been. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure that's not how it has been. So Damon was like, you should really reach out to your home health nurse and talk to her. So I sent her a copy of the picture and she was like, you really need to go to the ER. And I was like, I'm going to wait to hear from my neurosurgeon's office. Asked Rob to come home because I was like, if they send me, if they're going to send me somewhere, I'm going to need him to drive. He came home and heard back from my neurologist office and they were like, or neurosurgeon's office, they're like, we're going to get you in to see someone in wound care. And I was like, okay. Well, by 3:30, I hadn't gotten a call back. And I'm like, well, this is not going to happen today. And it's definitely not going to happen tomorrow. So, and I knew there was no way in hell I could go the rest of this week and all of the weekend in that kind of pain. So we ended up going to my local emergency room. It kind of crossed my mind to go to UT Southwestern because that's where I had the surgery. But number one, it's like an hour away. And number two, it's like, I just thought I was going there, they put something on it, bandage it up, have a nice day. Oh no. We got there at 4:30. I finally get back in the back like at 7 or 7:30. And they did an ultrasound. They did some blood work. They gave me an antibiotic. And then they said, okay, we talked to our spine doctor and he really thinks you need to go see your surgeon at UT Southwestern. So we're going to transport you. And I was like, oh my Jesus, I should have just went. So at 1 o'clock in the morning, so I sent Rob home. So he didn't get a chance to leave until like 11:30. So he was there from 4 to 11:30. And he went home. I was like, go home. Go home. I was like, you'll have, there's no reason for you to go with me to the hospital. They'll just get me checked in, get me settled. I'll probably go to sleep, finish your work. Cause he had a job due like for noon on Wednesday. I was like, just finish your work. And then when you're done, then you can come see me. Cause he's been working through this the last couple of days. So they come and get me at 1 o'clock and they take me to UT Southwestern. That was the worst ambulance ride of my life. Anybody from Dallas knows that the streets downtown or close to UT Southwestern are not in the best shape. And it was so many jarring up and down. I mean, and I just felt like I was barely secured to the stretcher. It was just so bad. And by the time I got to the hospital, I thought I was going to faint. I was in so much pain. So they get me checked in and start poking at it. And the nurse the neurosurgeon resident came in, and he looked like he hadn't slept in 4 days. He's like, you know, we're going to go ahead and do an MRI. He said, because we want to see if there's an infection deep within. He said, if there is, they'll have to, you know, go back in and redo it. Like, go back in and clean it out and then re-sew you up. And I said, okay. He's like, if there's not, then, you know, the plan will probably be wound care. And I said, okay. And here I am thinking, because it's like 1:30, 1:45 by the time I got there. I'm like, oh, we're going to do MRI, you know, in the next hour or two. No. So luckily the nurse, she was like, I'm going to cover that. And I was like, okay, I would appreciate that, because the problem is anything that touched it hurt. I'm going to insert a picture here. So if you are squeamish, don't look. And those of you who are fascinated by shit like this, like me, you may want to look. So this is what it looked like on Tuesday. And you can see that it's not completely opened. And then here's a picture that I had Rob take today before, like, as the wound care nurse was dressing it. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. But I asked him not to open it to show you guys, but you can see how raised and puffy and red it looks. So they have to transport me to a different hospital within UT Southwestern to do the MRI. Get there, I don't fit. It's like, how can a campus as huge as UT Southwestern not have an open MRI for people of size? I don't understand it. So get back, then they're like, okay, we'll do a CT scan instead. And I'm like, am I off NPO? Because at this point, I hadn't had anything to eat or drink for over 24 hours. And I was about ready to kill somebody. So they're like, yeah, off NPO, you know, when you get back from your CT scan, then you can go ahead and eat. So finally got to eat dinner like at 5. 5:30 comes around. I still haven't heard anything about the CT scan. So my nurse comes in, they're switching nurses, and I'm like, what's the deal? I was like, you know, do we know anything? And she's like, no. She's like, we're probably not gonna know anything until rounds. I said, okay, so I'm staying. She's like, yeah. So I looked at Rob, I was like, okay, you can go home. Cause he had come up right as I was going for the MRI. He pulled in, he walked in the room as they were trying to take me to the MRI. So, spent the night. So I got there at 2. I finally fell asleep probably about 5:30 a.m. Like I said, I was NPO until like 4:35 p.m. Did the CT scan. CT scan was fine. No issues. I never have an issue doing a CT scan. They did a CT scan with contrast. And then woke up this morning to see. So the kids came in, I shouldn't call them kids. The residents that actually saw me when I was in the hospital the first time came by and saw me yesterday morning. We're like, okay. And they were the ones that said, this is what we're going to do. And then Jake, who's my PA, came and said, yes, this is what we're going to do. And then this morning they came and saw me, and they're like, you know, there's not any infection in it. He's like, you're not running any fever. There's no infection in it. So we're going to go ahead and just have wound care come and set you up, and then we'll move on from there. And I said, okay, that's fine. So, this morning I woke up like at 6, texted Rob, got breakfast. My blood sugar, the highest my blood sugar got in the hospital was this morning. It was 229. Once again, had issues where I couldn't get double protein, and if I was going to stay any longer, I would have done it, but I only had 2 meals there, so not a big deal. So I was like, okay, so they gave me the right amount of insulin. Like, that part was good. So, I'm waiting for the wound care lady to come do the thing so I could take a shower. And she comes and she's like, okay. And so she's like, well, I'm going to see how much depth is to it. And I'm like, well, are you going to numb it with lidocaine? Nah, she did not. She stuck a fucking Q-tip in my open incision. And oh my God, I was sobbing by the time she was done. Rob was standing right in front of me, and I soaked the front of his shirt because it hurt. I mean, it hurts just for my shirt to touch it. And then she's all like stabbing in it and pulling it, and they all did it. Every single one of them that came and looked, the 2 neurosurgeon residents, my PA, the surgeon came by, the nurses, everybody had their hands all up in it. And it's like, it's no wonder it hurt so bad. It hurt so bad. So I said, are you going to do this with honey? And she's like, no, we're going to try silver instead. She's like, if it was deeper, because it's mostly superficial. She said it was deeper, we'd do honey, but they're going to do silver. So she didn't pack it. She put some kind of silver gauze over it, and then put a silicone bandage over that, and then a huge, I'll insert a picture here, a huge, some kind of tape, kind of like what they put on an IV, to keep it from getting wet. So I have home health coming every 3 times a week to change the dressing and keep an eye on it. I go back to see my regular doctor on the 27th, and then I go see the neurosurgeon on December 4th. I'm back on driving restriction. I can't drive. I basically can't move for the next 3 weeks. I have absolutely no idea what caused this to happen. None. I didn't bend over. I wasn't doing anything strenuous at all. It's just so bad. So 2 things that really, really hurt. When I was they couldn't get an IV in my hand. So this is actually the IV from October. You can still see it. They came and did blood cultures. They did 2 different blood cultures to check for bacteria. And then this is where they tried to put an IV in me in the first hospital. And he hit a nerve. And oh my God. Like, when I tell you that I had pain to 22 times this hospital stay, let me tell you, I've had a nerve conduction study, and this was like 1,000 times worse than that. And that was bullshit. So he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was like, what? He's like, I hit a nerve. I'm coming out. I'm so sorry. And I was just bawling. He's like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I understand that you just couldn't get it. I was like, I get it. I do. I was like, it just hurt. And my hand still hurts, like, to this day. And that was Tuesday. So that was an issue. And then they put an IV in my elbow. And she was like, where do you want it? I was like, well, if I'm just going to get antibiotics here, just put it in my elbow. Of course, then they transferred me. So once I got to UT Southwestern, they have an IV team, and somebody came and used the Doppler on my arm. It still hurt. He's like, did I hurt you? And I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, Jesus, Mary, Josephine. So yeah, so they put me back on OxyContin, which I hate. If you missed it, I think I talked about it in one of my videos. I literally had a dream that I was deboning Roxy while she was alive. And I stopped it, but yeah, I was getting it as often as I could while I was there this time, because it just hurts so bad. And I can only lay on my side. Like, even just sitting in this chair is horrible. When we came home, the orderly that was taking me downstairs today, he's like, grab a pillow, grab both pillows. He's like, you've already paid for them. Take them with you, and you can put one for you and you one back to me. So I actually put a pillow behind me and kept it in the car, and then we ate on the way home, and I put it in the wheelchair. So I'm still walking. That was another bone of contention. They put a bed lock on me. So if you don't know what that is, if you're a fall risk or whatever, they set a bed alarm. That way you don't get out of bed on your own. But I didn't need one. I didn't need one. I've been walking around, you know, it's not like I'm, you know, can't walk like I before. So I tried to get up 2 times and the bed alarm went off. And one of the times Jake was in there, Jake from State Farm was in there, and he was like, why do you have a bed alarm? And I was like, I don't know. So the nurse comes in and he's like, she doesn't need a bed alarm. He's like, you can just take that off. So he took it off, and then later that night they put it on. So this morning it was the same thing. And I was like, I'm not supposed to have a bed alarm, y'all. I can do this. I can walk. The physical therapist came and saw me, and she was like, why are you back? I was like, yeah, this is what happened. And then she's like, well, I'm not going to have to worry about it. She's like, you're up and walking. You're doing good. The occupational therapist came with her little cup and the toothbrush. And I was like, I don't need to see you guys. She's like, are you sure? I was like, I'm 100% positive. I said, I can take care. I said, I can wash myself. I can brush my teeth. I can get myself dressed. I was like, you know, they did a huge long OT assessment at home. I said, I don't need you guys. I appreciate it though. Come back and see me later. So yeah, it's been rough. So I'm back on restrictions. Can't drive. No BLTs, bending, lifting, or twisting. I I don't know what the heck we're going to do about Thanksgiving dinner. We may just have to either skip it, or I was looking at a couple of grocery stores local that cook. I'm just really, really frustrated. But I told Rob, I was like, I'm just have to basically not move for the next 2 weeks, because it's like I literally, I did nothing. There was nothing that I did for it to pop open like that. And it's just like, it's just really, really frustrating. So yeah, so that's what happened after my incision split open. So yay me. They sent me home with the something Celax, I don't know, some kind of antibiotic. Did they send me home with pain pills? No. Good thing I already had some. But yeah, I mean, it's so painful. It hurts so bad. And it's the entire back. So earlier I was trying to put on a bra, and I was like, can't do this. So I was stuffing my boobs in the front, and Rob was trying to do it in the back. Cause normally I put it on and then I turn it around, and couldn't do that. It's just so uncomfortable, and I'm just so irritated, because like, why can't things go easy for me? This is the 4th time in the hospital this year, which is a record for me. I don't want to go back. Please, knock on wood, that I don't go back. So yeah, I'm just trying to stay positive, even though I really feel like not staying positive. Luckily, I have a good team behind me, and next time if something happens like this, I'm just going to go to UT Southwestern. I'm not even going to bother with going around here, because I was just a waste of time. The light at the end of the tunnel is that I'd already met all of my out-of-pocket deductibles. So, and this shouldn't cost me anything. The transfer, any of it should all be free. So that's, knock on wood, like, excuse me, let's get to the tunnel. But yeah, so that's it, guys. What do you think of my sweater? I got it from Old Navy. I like it. I don't wear, this is the only green. I have this, and I have that green tank top that I really, really like. But yeah, so got this, got some new pants. They have high-rise jeans now. Thank the Lord, because low-rise jeans or mid-rise jeans on me, they fall down all the damn time. And I literally look like I'm walking 3 steps, pulling in my pants. Walking 3 steps, pulling in my pants. So yeah, so that's it, guys. That's it for me. No weigh-in. I haven't been on a scale. Yeah, I just haven't been on a scale. And I had carbs the last couple of days. So who knows what it's going to be when I weigh again. But yeah, so guys, just say a prayer for me. Say a prayer for Rob that he makes it. Say a prayer for Roxy that I don't kill her, because she's already mad at me. When she gets mad at me, she will try to eat plastic wherever in the room. Or she'll scratch the carpet just to get back at me. And I'm like, dude, I just walked in the door. Calm down. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully I'll be back next week with another update. I filmed a Get Ready With Me video from the last video. I tried to upload that to YouTube the other day, and 10 hours later it still hadn't uploaded. So I had to redo all of it. And so I haven't had a chance to upload it, but hopefully I will soon. So that's it. Say a prayer for me. I'm going to take all my antibiotics. I'm going to go take some Tramadol and take a nap. So I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.